Internal Revenue Service IRS tax news. New law provides additional flexibility for health FSAs and dependent care assistance programs. Employers may allow participants to carry over unused amounts. IR 2021-40, February 18, 2021, Washington. The Internal Revenue Service today provided greater flexibility due to the pandemic to employee benefit plans offering health flexibility spending arrangements, FSAs, or dependent care assistance programs. Under the COVID-related Taxpayer Certainty and Disaster Tax Relief Act of 2020, the plans now have additional discretion in 2021 and 2022 to adjust their programs to help employees better meet the unanticipated consequences of the public health emergency. Notice 2021-15, there's a link to that notice here, responds to unanticipated changes in the availability of certain medical care and dependent care. As a result of COVID-19, participating employees are more likely to have unused health FSA amounts or dependent care assistance program amounts at the end of 2020 and 2021. Generally, under these plans, an employer allows its employee to set aside a certain amount of pre-tax wages to pay for medical care and dependent care expenses. Amounts spent by the employee are then reimbursed from the designated health FSAs or dependent care assistance programs. So basically, you get a tax benefits, you put the money in, you're supposed to have it, kind of designated for the health programs that you're going to be spending on. But obviously in 2020, people have greatly altered their spending habits with regards to healthcare because of the limitations on the availability of the healthcare and just not wanting to go to the doctor during a situation where there's an epidemic and whatnot, and you could basically get infected. So that's going to be affecting the amount of care that was actually provided or taken in 2020 substantially, and could have an impact then on the tax consequences related to this. So notice 2021-15 provides flexibility for employers in the following areas related to health FSAs and dependent care assistance programs. Provides flexibility for the carryover of unused amounts from 2020 and 2021 plan years. So we got that carryover amount that might be beneficial then due to the circumstances. Provides flexibility to extend the permissible period for incurring claims for plan years ending in 2020 and 2021. Provides flexibility to adopt a special rule regarding post-termination reimbursements from health FSAs. Provides flexibility for a special claim period and carryover rule for dependent care assistance programs when a dependent ages out. There's a quote of ages out terminology during the COVID-19 public health emergency, and allows certain mid-year election changes for health FSAs and dependent care assistance programs for plan years ending in 2021. Prior guidance provided flexibility to employers with cafeteria plans through the end of calendar year 2020, during which employers could permit employees to apply unused health FSA amounts and dependent care assistance program amounts to pay for or reimburse medical care or dependent care expenses. The Taxpayers Certainty and Disaster Tax Relief Act of 2020, signed into law on December 27, 2020, provides similar flexibility for these arrangements in 2021 and 2022. Millions of employees have access to health FSAs and dependent care assistance programs sponsored by employers under, quote, cafeteria plans, end quote. The decision to adjust these employee benefit programs is at the discretion of the employer that sponsors the plan. The amounts properly spent are not subject to federal income tax. Typically, account funds that are not spent by the employee within the plan year subject to limit grace periods or certain carryover amounts are forfeited. In accordance with the Taxpayer Certainty and Disaster Tax Relief Act of 2020, Notice 2021-15 gives employers the option to amend their plans to provide greater flexibility for employees to elect and use these programs during the pandemic without risking the forfeiture of the amounts they have set aside. The IRS has more COVID-19 related information for plan participants, employers, and others who administer plans at irs.gov, irs.gov, the IRS website. There's a link to the COVID-19 related information here. There'll be a link to this in the description.